We are using a ceramic round brush to create curls in the hair. Ceramic is good because of the metal barrel. It acts similarly to a curling iron, so it can hold a really nice bend in the hair. So that's why ceramic is important. We're going to do bullseye parting. So that means that you're going to do a circular parting right on the crown, right where you want to see the most volume. And then you're going to bring up about 2-inch sections all around and attach it all kind of stacking on top of itself. Sometimes we run out of room depending on the anatomy of the head. So this is where I'm doing kind of like a half circle in the back because I have more hair in the back than I do in the upper front hairline. And you want to just have a consistent amount of hair all around the hairline. That's what we're going to work with first. So starting in the front, I don't like to set in a part for my client. So I do just down the center and I try to lift it up, kind of giving it somewhat of a lift up away from the face. And then I'm just working on creating that curl and letting it cool. So I'm not touching it after it's set. And then on the sides, I am doing a technique where I am doing the section reverse. So I can get very little lift because we don't want lift right in front of the ear. So I'm pulling all that volume out while I'm getting that base dry before I curl out the ends. Now I'm working on the mids and ends, and I'm holding my brush vertical so it can start to take that curl shape. And once I feel the hair is about 85% dry, then I start to twist and release. And then once I get that all the way down, I just let it cool, just like that. If it stays in the spiral, it will allow for it to be a really nice, strong S shape for that curl. So I'm gonna touch it up one more time. I wasn't quite happy with that last one. There we go. And then same on the other side. So I'm going to work by getting the volume out of the side first. So I'm doing my airflow on top of my section so I can pull out as much volume as I can through the side. And then I'll start my mids and ends doing back and forth with my section. And then once I feel it's about 85% dry, then I'm gonna curl and release. Now in this back section, you wanna pull these sections just straight out. That's what creates that pretty fullness in the nape. So you wanna pull them straight out and then curl them away from the face. Perfect. And then just same thing on this side. Out and away from the face. There I go, curling it away from the face. And then just once, I'm always checking the temperature of my section with my pinkies. Once I feel it's ready, then I'll start twisting and releasing off the brush to create the curl. And same for this section, don't want a lot of volume in the nape, so I'm doing a technique where I'm getting the airflow on top of my section first to control what's going on with that base. And there it is. There's all my curls. They're setting and cooling, and I'm going to move on in my second nape section. And this section I will be curling away from the face as well. And I'm constantly going back and forth on the first about couple to 3 inches of hair. That's where I want it to be the completely dry before I carry on through the mids and ends. So you'll see me spend a lot of time at the root. And same thing on this side, I'm going to curl it away from the face. And just working that section till it is like almost 100% dry. One thing I want you to notice through this demo is how I really work to control my sections so that none of my other sections get blown from the air of the blow dryer. This is really important because this is what allows for those sections to really cool in those curl shapes. So here I slow-moed for you how I twist and release my section off of my brush. So I kind of work it up towards the top and let it fall and just let it cool. Now I'm going to move on to my third section, and this one is all the way around the head. I'm going to start in the front, and what's really important here is that you brick lay your sections so that you're not getting part lines matching up. It creates the prettiest windswept look for your client. So you want to make sure that you are bricklaying your section. So that's why I started right there. Perfect. And then I will show that a little better here. So here, that's where my last part was, and that's why I'm taking this section that's going over that part to bricklay. I'm pulling a little bit of volume more towards the face, kind of flattening out that section, and then I go back and lift it up. Going back and forth on your brush, like the front and back, is what really will ensure that your section gets really nice and dry on both sides. If there's any amount of moisture left, these curls will not hold and frizz will come back into your client's hair. Now I'm going to work in a little bit more volume. Where I'm at on the head, I want more lift. There we go. And just don't disturb those curls. Let them do their thing. Let them cool. Then this one, I went full volume, so I am over directing my section. It's in the back, and that's where I want to start seeing fullness and movement more so. And then always curling away from the face on each section. Really focus on where your airflow is going. Start practicing more control. Always keep an eye on where your nozzle's at. So that way your sections remain undisturbed. So there's that. I'm almost done. I'm on the money piece of this blow dry. So that final little circle, you don't want it any wider than your brush. And you're just going to take horizontal sections and go full on base curls. Really over direct this section. This is the money piece. This is where we want to see the most volume. And then when you twist and curl, you're twisting it up off the base. So here's a different view for you for my second section. There it is in slow-mo. So this is how I'm going to release while my brush is horizontal. There we go. And see how it's kind of bounced up off the section? You want to leave it like that. It's cooling so it stays nice and full. And then this last section, you really want to work to get that on base. So really over direct this last section. And then you'll just twist and release. So there is my finished brushing. So it's just cooling now. Now I'm going to turn my blow dryer on low flow and medium heat. And I'm really working to kind of incorporate all the part lines now. Depending on your speed, that could be a reason why part lines get more set in. So this is just a way you just bring your hands right down to the root and you just kind of incorporate once everything's good and dry. So there's my finished view. And it looks like I still have a pretty bad split back on that last volume piece. So I'm going to fix that again. And I'm just really working to incorporate all the hairs together. If you can picture kind of like with your roller sets, how you want to combine it with your back brushing. I am doing a similar technique, just getting it all combined so that it doesn't split out anymore. And there you have it. So this is where you can find where to part your client's hair. You know, I kind of just see where it falls and I just kind of go with it. So it's a really nice technique. If your client has a more set in part, it usually will find its way at this point and you just split it there, but it just has the prettiest lift and the most natural look. So my mannequin seems to want to part here, so I'm going to leave it there. And there you have it. Absolutely no ironwork was used. This is all entirely with my ceramic round brush. So if you really take the time, lots of attention, and really twist and allow that hair to cool, you'll get this result as well. And there it is again. And I almost forgot that I am going to share with you guys just a few products I used. So there's our final look of the back. And I use this Rusk. So there are my two ceramic brushes. And I use this Rusk Elixir Mist. It's a thermal shine mist. So I use that before I start blow drying. And then this is my finish, just hairspray. Make sure to always apply from bottom up.